It's my pleasure to offer this video reference for Don Duffield towards his application for the Global Teachers Award. I've known Don since 2003 and was lucky to be his headmaster from 2006 through until 2013. Don is one of the finest teachers with whom I've ever worked. I don't know how one exactly defines a great teacher, but there is definitely a degree of basic talent and subject expertise that's particularly so in science and scientifically related subjects. But also there's got to be an openness of approach. There's got to be a willingness to learn and develop on a continual basis. One also needs to be a good communicator, I believe, in this discipline. Don went from being a relative novice in the science teaching field, having come in from a tertiary environment, and really developed into one of the finest teachers in our staff. And we had a very competent staff, highly regarded school, but also was considered to be one of the finest teachers in the city, and eventually, right indeed, throughout the country. Don was the sort of person who could be relied upon to do a good job in any context, and because of that was given opportunities to develop himself in a broad range of areas, both in the science teaching itself, in pastoral care, leadership, outdoor education, mentoring, tutoring, and that is because he's a multi-talented individual. He also was a pioneer in many ways, and he took the first group of students from St. Albans to China after we signed a partnership with the Chinese Department of Education and Culture, and he even had the audacity to complete a lesson, a science lesson on the Great Wall of China in that trip. He was nominated for a number of prizes, and we were all delighted and hugely honoured that Don was awarded a Global Teachers Award through the International Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineers, an event that took place in New York City in 2012. And Don received that award based on the reputation that he'd already established here in South Africa. While he was over there on that trip, we allowed him scope to do some further learning, and he used that thoroughly well by visiting faculties in various universities in Washington, New York City, Boston, Cambridge, and he came back with a really, really broad network, exactly as he had done when he'd been in China a couple of years earlier. Don left us, and we were sad to see him leave, obviously, because he was a top-ranked member of staff, but he left us to head up his own science department in a very innovative and forward-thinking, relatively new school, Parklands in Cape Town. He went down there in 2013, and in that time he really did some marvelous work in terms of setting up new structures for how science teaching teams could be constructed as a department, as a faculty. He also did amazing work, and Parklands has just achieved some remarkable outcomes in terms of its science results in summative examinations, but also in various competitions like Olympiads and science expos, etc. Don's thirst for knowledge is unbounded, so therefore he will always engage with those around him who share a similar passion and interest, and Don is already a well-established member of the scientific education fraternity in the Cape Town city area. He also has used his expertise and his time to great effect in the broader community, so that he doesn't just end up teaching the privileged children who can afford to attend Parklands, but he can also share with students who are boys and girls who live in depressed township communities where science and maths teachers are very hard to come by. So Don is the sort of person who makes a difference in the world. Now, this Global Teachers Award is something that I know is of great interest to him. Not for the sake of getting another prize, because Don is well loaded already, well written, well published and all that sort of thing, and highly regarded here in South Africa. But this is a particular prize that comes with resource and funding that would allow Don to go further, to be able to share further, to be able to impact further. And there's no doubt in my mind that if Don was to be shortlisted, he would make a strong candidate for the top prizes in general. And if he was to receive one of those top prizes, he would be a wonderful ambassador for the prize itself. So I recommend Don Duffield to you as a as an ex-colleague, as a science and mathematics practitioner myself. I'm currently working in the education space in rural South Africa, Northwest Province. I've had experience from the formal independent schooling movement in South Africa as well. And Don is one of those people that I would have on my team any day of the week. He is extraordinary, and he would be a worthy shortlisted candidate and a worthy recipient of an award from the Global Teachers Awards structure. Thank you.